that, everyone at a certain point asked themselves a simple but so intriguing question. Do you believe that nothing is impossible? Well, Pai Patel did believe. He is the proof of man versus nature concept, survival and strength of character. He was a 16-year-old fellow from India who had to face the most challenging experience of his life, almost impossible, I would say, and yet full of knowledge. And I'm not directly referring to teenage dramas. This boy found himself in a lifeboat, in the middle of nowhere, after a heavy storm had crashed his family's boat. After this atrocious incident, he had absolutely no one by himself, except for an injured zebra, an orangutan, a hyena, and a Bengal tiger. Those were the only survivors. After a fight between the animals, only Pai and the tiger remained on that boat. In that situation, Pai had to use all the emergency supplies, so he could feed the tiger in order to protect himself. But when they ran out of food, Pai realized that he had to find a way or another to cooperate with the tiger. So, in time, a really strong bond was formed between these two. Eventually, the lifeboat reached the coast of Mexico. Finally back on land, the tiger simply left Pai alone and disappeared into the jungle. Soon after that, a group rescued Pai and took him to hospital. Even though Pai didn't get a chance to say goodbye to his friend, and that haunted him for quite some time, he was relieved and also grateful, because without the tiger, he wouldn't have survived that incident. And I quote Pai, "My fear for him kept me alert. Tending to his needs gave my life a purpose." What you have just heard is the plot of the movie and the international bestseller novel, Life of Pai. Now, you might ask yourselves, what does this movie have to do with reality? Well, a lot, because we often have the tendency to think about our boundaries, about our limits. What is reality? What is fantasy? What is possible and what is impossible? So, let's have a closer look at the last one. We all know that impossible comes from impossible, which, unfortunately, always comes with a but. I am possible. I'm 100% committed. I have ambition, determination, but in the end, it's all up to luck and God's will. And what if you don't have that golden ticket, that it's keeping you away from your desires? You're just gonna give up. You're gonna let fear defeat you? Well, not really, because if you think about it, life is like a movie. And in this movie, you're not the main character. You are the director. You make the script, and you are about to change it. You will go with something called imagination. Thinking back about my past, I remember that when I was a child, people used to make fun of me because of my shyness. No one could have ever imagined that 9 years later, I would have my first performance in a role play in front of at least 100 people. Ironic, isn't it? How a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of imagination, a little bit of faith had such a major impact in my life. But let's not forget about our character Pai. He had nothing left to fight for. He had no family, no heritage. He was literally in poverty. But despite that, he used his imagination and faith in religion and managed somehow to defeat what in other circumstances it would have been impossible. He broadened his horizons and let his imagination run wild. And that's how he proved himself to me and to you that nothing is impossible. Thank you.